Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video on my channel here now. In today's video, guys, I'm going to be bringing you a lockdown defense that you can run out of nickel 335. The play we're going to go over is going to be cover 3 cloud, and I'm going to show you guys 4 setups. We're going to go from the easiest setups to the most advanced setups. I'm going to go in that order, and I'm going to show you guys basically different setups that you can run to win more games in Madden. I have labbed with this on gun trips tight end, and yes, this defense, I want to quickly do a disclaimer. This defense is locked down, but it can get beat. You know, there are certain routes, there's certain combinations that can beat this defense. So just keep in mind that no defense is perfect, and I'm just trying to bring you guys the best content and give you guys some variety to run in Madden 21. Now, before we get into the video, guys, want to follow me on Twitter, link is down below. Also, if you want to check out my 2 more recent videos, they're going to be in the top right of the screen right now. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, so we're going to start out like we always do with the pre-play adjustments. So the play is going to be nickel 335, and it is going to be this cover 3 cloud. I believe I didn't go over this in my nickel 335 scheme a couple months back. So today we're going to go over this defense. Now, we're going to get into the subs. So what I like to do for my substitutions is you're going to press R1 in your controller, and it's going to bring up the subs. Now, what I like to do, I like to sub in safeties at linebacker. So the way I had it, I believe, I had Crookshank here, I had Amani Hooker here, and then I had another safety, Kalu, here. So I had Joshua Kalu right here. So basically, those were the adjustments that I made. I just went and I subbed in safeties at linebacker. Now, also something else you could do as well is you could sub in corners at safety and then put those great safeties at the linebacker spots. So that's another thing you can do as well. But I'm just going to stick with having just safeties at linebacker. Now, also what I did was I went to my zone drops and I have ball and air defense as play ball, my flats at 5, and my curl flats at 20 for my zone drops. So that's basically it for the pre-play adjustments. Now let's get into the first setup. Okay, guys, so basically we're running against gun trips tight end. I ran just random plays right here just to kind of switch it up. But the first setup is going to be very simple. All you're going to do is you're going to pinch your defense, which is going to be R1 down on the left stick, and then shade over the top, which is triangle up on the right stick. This is basically going to press, when you pinch your defense, that's going to press your defensive backs, your cornerbacks, and it's also going to pinch your defensive line, which will be good against the run. And then also what I did is I shaded over the top. That way we wouldn't get beat deep as bad. And that's basically just the first setup. It's a really easy setup. And what I like to do is I actually like to use this guy right here. The reason why is because this guy's going to have more responsibilities, because if it's a gun trips tight end, most likely a route's going to be over here. So he's going to have more responsibilities. And then this spy I like to have on the field because it allows me to basically keep a running quarterback in check like Lamar Jackson or Deshaun Watson. So I just like to use this guy. And also keep in mind as well, if you blitz your user, which you can either do the click on method, which is actually down the right stick, or you can go and just double tap the right D-pad, press the icon, and flick down the right stick. What this is going to do is it's going to give your user more agility, more speed, and it's just going to allow you to cover more routes. So here we go. We're just going to run this here. Hopefully they don't do a run, and they actually did a run play right there, but we were able to sniff it out and stop it with Jadeveon Clowney. We'll just run this setup one more time against the pass. So once again, it's pinch your defense and shade over the top. So pinch your defense is R1 down the left stick, and then shade over the top is triangle up on the right stick. And I also just went and I blitzed this guy right here. So we're just going to run it one more time. And as you can see, they actually passed the ball. And he is going to throw that corner route. As I said before, this can get beat very, very easily if you just go and get the right combinations. This is why it's, you know, the easiest setup right here. It's because this is probably the most susceptible to routes, so just keep that in mind. So now we are going to get into a couple other formations, starting with gun bunch. Okay, guys, so now we're going to be running random plays at a gun bunch. So once again, we're going to pinch your defense, shade over the top. Really easy. And we're going to be using, if this is a gun bunch, because the bunch is to the right, I'm going to use this guy because most likely here this player is going to have less assignments and less responsibilities than this guy, considering that usually at a bunch they may run hitches or slant routes, so he's going to have more responsibilities to the right. So here we go. We're just going to run this play. And as you can see, once again, this is susceptible, and because we had a curl flat to the right side, he is able to dot us up right there. And that's pretty much it. So once again, we're just going to pinch the defense and shade over the top. And I'm going to use this guy. I'm going to blitz him. So here we go. We're going to run this here. And as you can see, he is able to get us right in the flats and get a very, very easy gain. Now, guys, we're going to move on to another formation, gun tray Y flex. All right, so now we're running at a gun tray Y flex. So here we go. We're just going to use this guy right here. It's the same basically as gun trips tight end. I mean, they're pretty much identical, you know, mostly. But as you can see, we actually had pretty good coverage on this play when we did force him to dump it off. Now, we did get a lot of yards. So just keep that in mind that it can be beat right there. And we're just going to run this one more time here on defense. And then we're going to move into the next setup. So here we go. We're just going to use a quick shank right here. And I did not actually, I forgot to blitz my player. And he was able to dump off to the flats and get about like 9-10 yards. So that's why it's probably the easiest setup, because it's the most susceptible. But we're going to move into more advanced setups where you're going to have a bit more coverage on the field. So now, guys, let's move into the second setup. Okay, guys, so now the second setup here we're going to do is we're going to pinch our defense. We're going to shade up the top. And then if I'm versing gun trips tight end with the trips to the left, I'm going to go and I'm going to take this player right here, this player. And you can either go and take this guy or this guy. And we're going to man him up on one of these receivers right here. It's honestly your choice, in my opinion, though. I'm going to do this guy. I'm going to pull like kind of a cross manning kind of setup. And it's going to allow for more coverage. So I'm just going to cross man him with the O receiver right here. So you can either do the click on method, which is X, and flick the right stick up and then press O when you're on the player. Or you can double tap the right D-pad, press the icon, flick up on the right stick, and press O. So I'm just going to use this guy right here, Kalu, and we're just going to run this play. It's very, very simple. You know, another one of those simple setups right here. As you can see, I'm kind of bagging everything at this point. Now, we did have a lot of time to throw, but you saw how the user was able to go and cover the corner out. If you were to throw that, that would have been interceptions. So just pinch your defense, shade over the top. We're going to cross man, and that's pretty much it. You could either put him on the O receiver or you could put him on the triangle receiver. Really, it's all up to you. You know, you do whatever you want, whatever suits you. So here we go. They ran a fake counter right here. That actually kind of got me, I'm not going to lie. And as you can see, he's forced to air it out in this play, and we do force an incompletion. So now we're going to move on to the next formation we're going to run against, which is gun bunch. All right, guys, so now we're running this play against gun bunch. Now, keep in mind here the setup, pinch the defense, shade over the top, and then we're going to cross man. Now, considering that the bunch is to the right here, what we're going to do is we're going to take this receiver, right, or this linebacker, the safety more like, and we're going to cross man him one of the receivers. So I'm just going to cross man him here with R1, and then we're going to use this guy right here. Once again, I don't like to use the QB spy because it allows me to get a running quarterback in check. Now, if you do not have a running quarterback, if you're not facing a running quarterback, if you're facing a guy like Tom Brady or Drew Brees, that kind of thing, what you can do is you can actually go and you can either put him in a hook curl like this, get a little bit more coverage over the middle, or you could go and you could basically you can man him up on another receiver. So I'm just going to man him up right here, and basically now there's less coverage over the middle, but two more receivers are manned up. So you can either go and man him up on the tight end, the square route, or the O route. So I'm just going to do the square route right here, and as you can see, this is the next setup right here. Now keep in mind, this is if you're not facing a scrambling QB. So if you're facing a guy like Deshaun Watson or Lamar Jackson, don't do this, because most likely you're going to need this spy. So we're just going to run this play here with Crookshank. We're going to see what we got. And as you can see, pretty good coverage. Now, I don't know why he was able to get that open right there. Number 17, he was just completely destroyed our defense. But pretty much that is the next setup right here. Once again, pinch your defense, shade over the top. And then we're going to cross man real quick. We're going to cross man him with O. And then also, since we're facing Drew Brees, a non-scrambling QB, we're also going to do another cross man with the tight end. So basically, our main responsibilities on this play are going to be this receiver right here and also the receiver on the left side. So those are going to be our responsibilities that we have to cover. So here we go. Just going to cover, and as you can see, it's pretty locked down coverage. Now, unfortunately, I did not pick up playmaker or whatever it was, the reroute, and because of that, he was able to get a good gain. So now, guys, we're going to move on to the next formation, which could be gun tray Y flex. All right, so here we go. You basically just know the drill here. Just going to man him up right here. And then we're also going to man another guy up as well. We're going to man this guy up right here. We're going to man the tight end up. So really, we just have to, use this guy. We have to worry about that left side a little bit. So here we go. And they did actually do a running play, and we were able to stiff that up pretty well. Actually, we only allowed a couple of yards. That's not too bad. So here we go. We're just going to run this here. And just a simple cross man. So that's what it is. So we're just going to basically cover this left side with our life, pretty much. That's what it is. So as you can see, we were able to cover pretty well. Now, unfortunately, I did not pick up on the late dig route, so that's definitely something that you got to cover. But you saw on that play how the crossing route was covered pretty well and whatnot. So now, guys, we're going to move on to the third setup. All right, guys, so here we go. This is going to be the third setup here. We are almost at the end of the video. So what we're going to do is we're going to pinch our defense. We're going to shade over the top. I know it's pretty much repetitive, but the only difference in this, we're going to put this guy right here, this Crookshank. Yeah, Crookshank. We're going to put him in a curl flat, which is going to be X and flick the left stick to the right, or you could just go and double tap the right D-pad, press their icon, and flick the left stick to the right. What this is going to do is it's basically going to create kind of, I don't know, I don't know what to call it because it is already a cover 3 cloud, but you're going to see how there's a curl flat and a cloud flat to the right side. Now, another thing you could do is you could take this guy right here and you could put him in a hard flat and shade over the top to make it a cloud flat. That's definitely another thing you could do. And that's only if, like, for example, if I'm versing gun bunch, that would be the best thing to do. So as you can see right here, you know, you have a bit more coverage against crossing routes to the right side and also against corner routes too. So we're just going to run this play. And you're going to see how there was, you know, pretty good coverage on that play. He did dump it off to the running back and get a few yards. So once again here, pinch your defense, shade over the top, put this guy in a curl flat right here, and basically we're just going to blitz the user right here. So we're just going to run this play again. You're going to see right here, I mean, decent coverage, you know, decent coverage. You're only able to get about 4 yards on the drag route right there. So now, guys, we're going to move on to the next formation, which is gun bunch. All right, guys, so basically we're going at a gun bunch. So if you're going against gun bunch and the bunch is to the right, we're basically just going to go through the same start of the setup, pinch the defense, shade over the top. But instead, we're going to put this guy in a curl flat, and we're going to user this player right here. The reason why is because if you're most likely, if you're in gun bunch, the crossing routes, which I think there's a good crossing route out of like the Atlanta playbook and that kind of stuff. If there's a crossing route and it's coming, it's most likely going to be coming from right to left. So you're going to have more coverage against that. Also, if there's corner routes, you'll have more coverage on this right side as well. So here we go. We're just going to use the Crookshank here, and we're just going to use what we can on this play. So here we go. And as you can see, I was not quick enough to get over there, but we only allowed about 5 yards, which is pretty good on this play. So once again, pitch your defense, shade over the top. We're going to put this guy in a curl flat, considering that the play is flipped now. And we're just going to be using Crookshank right here. We'll do it like one more time. So here we go. Now he is able to dump off, but he's only able to get, what was that, like 2-3 yards? So that's not too bad. So now we're going to move on to the final formation. All right, guys. So now we're running it at a gun tray Y flex. So this basically going to be rinse and repeat from gun trips tight end. The curl flat's going to be going on this right linebacker, or right safety technically, instead of the left safety. So here we go. I mean, this setup is really easy. Takes a couple of seconds, and you'll get some pretty good coverage against crossing routes, which are big in this year's game. It's basically the meta at this point. So as you can see, decent coverage, and he's able to dump off to the flats, which basically is a given. I mean, you could possibly drop your defensive lineman into a hard flat as well. That way it would cover that. But then again, you're giving the QB more time, and it will give basically more improvisation in terms of receivers running reroutes and getting open like that. So just so you know, there is a trade-off if you do that. So pinch your defense, shade over the top, put this guy in a curl flat, and we're going to blitz this player right here. That way we get faster animations. So as you can see here, I mean, pretty good coverage, and we were able to sack him right there. So not bad coverage. I mean, he could have thrown that guy over the top necessarily. That's the route he could have gone. So now, guys, we're going to move on to the fourth and final setup. All right, guys, here we go. We have reached the fourth and final setup of this video. I know you guys, if you guys have made it this long, definitely smash a like. Also, remember to subscribe to the channel for more Madden tips. Anyway, let's get into it. So this final setup, it's advanced. So strap yourself in. So what we're going to do, we're going to pinch our defense. We're going to shade over the top, just like we've normally done. However, we are going to be manning up. Ready for this? We're going to be manning up the safeties and the two safety linebackers, technically, that are in hook curls. We're going to man them up on our receivers. So how we're going to do that, it's going to be really quick. So we're going to man up this guy and this guy. Basically, I'm just going to go through this real quick, and here we go. And we're going to be using this player right here. Well, actually, wait, did I mess that up? Hold on. Yeah, yep, I kind of messed that up right there. Yep, I kind of messed that up. So here we go. Basically, this is the setup right here. So what I've done is I have taken the safeties. I took this safety right here, Kenny Vaccaro. I manned him up on the slot receiver. I took the free safety and manned him up on the tight end. I took this left side safety linebacker, manned him up on this guy right here. I believe he's the O receiver. And then I took this linebacker safety and I manned him up on the outside receiver. This is also called cross manning. Now, what this basically is, it's basically a cover 1 or cover 2 man. Although you have more coverage against deep routes because you have that outside quarter or outside third on the left side. And you also have a cloud flat and a curl flat. So this is definitely a very advanced setup, but it also has the most upside. Now, as you can see, unfortunately, he's able to throw that ball, but we do force an incompletion right there. We're going to run the setup again. I'm going to go quick here. So we're just pitch defense, shit with the top. Boom. Oh, actually, no, I messed that up. You know, I still got to kind of go with this. Still got to kind of experiment with this here. And I accidentally manned that guy up. Here we go. Man this guy up. So there we go. So that's basically the setup right here. It's very advanced, but it also has the most upside because you're going to get more coverage on the play. So as you can see, he does end up running the ball, and he does get a pretty solid chunk of yards, which is warranted because it is a nickel 3-3-5. So I'm just going to run this play, see if I can actually do this correctly here. Let's see. There we go, and we're just going to use this guy. All right. Now, that setup was a bit slow, and it does have the most steps. However, it has the most upside, as I had mentioned a lot before. So, here we go. The only guy that's not manned up on this play, keep in mind, as you can see, we're able to get the pick, and actually it's a pick 6. But basically, the only guy that is not manned up on this play is going to be the running back. So he's going to be one of your only responsibilities on this play, unless obviously one of your man coverage guys gets burnt. In that case, then that will be your responsibility. But now, guys, we're going to move on to gun bunch. All right, guys, so now we're running out of gun bunch, so we're just going to run this really quick here. Oh, shoot. All right, I kind of messed that up right there, but I mean, we were still able to man up everybody. I kind of messed that up. It's a bit slow. I got to practice it just a little bit more, and once I do that, though, I should be pretty fluid in this. But as you can see, pretty good coverage. He does end up doing a screen, and we're able to sniff that out. How was that not a tackle? I will never know. We literally glitched through his body, but here we go. We're just going to do this right here. Boom. All right, there we go. All right, that was a bit quicker. That was a bit quicker, not going to lie. That was a bit quicker. So, yeah, I really like this setup, though. I mean, it's one of the more advanced setups in this video, as I had mentioned. And as you can see, he tries to go to the tight end. I believe that was bunch trail, but it was deflected. So, what we're going to do, just pinch. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. There we go, boys. That is a really smooth setup right there. It's smooth. It has got a lot of steps. You can either do the click on method, or you could go with just double tapping triangle or double tapping the right D-pad and just manning them up yourselves. You know, just using those defensive keys. Personally, I like clicking on. And now, guys, we're going to be moving on to gun Trey Y flex. All right, guys, so once again, gun Trey Y flex here is rinse and repeat. So we're just going to run this real quick. There we go. So that was good. So once you practice this more in practice mode, you will get the hang of it. So here we go on this play. Just going to worry about the running back here. And now I don't know why number 10, Traquan Smith, I don't know what happened with his man. I don't know what happened. Let me take a look. Let me just look at the instant replay. What actually happened there? Because I thought he had somebody manned up on him. He should have had more blanketed coverage, but I guess not. So let's take a look. Maybe it was the safety. He had to come down. That's one of the only disadvantages, that the safety kind of has to come down on this play. As you can see, the safety, let's see. I think it was it this guy that had to come over? I think it was this guy. For some reason, he, like, stopped. I don't know. Or actually, was it this guy right here? Let me just see. I think it was this player right here. I don't know. He came over, and then he sort of stopped. I don't know why he didn't, like, follow through. Because if he had followed through and Drew Brees had thrown that would have been a pick. But once again here, we're just going to do the man. See, I kind of messed this up, so let me just reset the play real quick. It's a tough setup. It's definitely a very tough setup right here to do. Nope, I didn't mean to do that. All right, so that's a little bit of a different setup right there because what I did. All right, I didn't pitch my defense either. See, you know, it takes a long time to get, man. It definitely takes a long time to get, you know, but once you practice it more, I mean, it'll be better. But as you can see, we clicked off, man. That was a terrible click off by me. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this long video. I hope it was very insightful for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed. Take care. Most importantly, stay classy.